Federal officials accuse Russia of using unwitting right-wing influencers in the United States to spread Kremlin propaganda ahead of the November election.
The Justice Department charged 2 Russian media employees in this scheme. Investigators say they helped to publish.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. J. Chanel, show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type to come through with that 9 quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here protected. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray-cray, approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these cans tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here protected. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Get your life.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Get your life, boo.
Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon there, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music, and welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop. Y'all know what we're doing. I was going to wait until this weekend to talk about this particular stream that we're going to cover. Appreciate that. Hey, Shaw, how you doing? What's up there, HT Baldwin? How you doing? What's up there? How you doing? How you doing? See the first one up off in this place. Hey, how you doing there, Zahara? Good to see you. Again, folks, I put the link down in the chat room there, so anytime you folks want to come up and join me, feel free to hit the link and come on up, come on in. But anyway, folks, getting to the stream at hand here. Just the other day, Anton, and I'm not familiar with the other guy named Yada. Never seen, even never heard of him before. But they had a debate on another podcast that I've seen before, but I really don't follow. And the topic of the conversations about whether a husband or, dare I say, a boyfriend should pay all the bills or 50-50. I don't know how that, that's how you run your household. That kind of is up to you. But I'm just gonna go by what I see in today's economy. I guess that's the best way to say it. It's them women's. I'm gonna go just by. I mean, since I would say since the early 2000s, it's been pretty hard to get by without a two-income household, especially with the price of food, the price of cars, babysitting. Everything is up. To rent an apartment depends on where you might live at. Sometimes it costs you a pretty good penny. And this is no disrespect, but the average medium income for the majority of us is like anywhere from $38,000 to $45,000 a year. So, again, you might need a little help, especially if something should happen to the husband or something should happen to the wife and you're falling back on one income. As it says, the majority of us are just one paycheck away from being out on the street, so to speak. So, make long story short here, these two guys, Anton and this guy named Yada, they were on a platform discussing the differences. I previewed it some, again, over on Sharon Bracey's channel. I listened to what they had to say about it, and that turned into a shit show. No disrespect there, Sharon, but sometimes you let the wrong people come up on your panel to discuss shit, especially when it's a bunch of Anton Daniels fans. You know what I mean? But anyway, I guess that's here nor there, but I think that's you'll see exactly what I mean by that a little bit later on. As I previewed it, I wouldn't really call this as a debate. It's more, I would call it a filibuster. I don't think the moderators did a very good job at moderating. I think it just turned into a free for all, to which, from what I saw, Anton Daniels turned the conversation to his favor. But anyway, folks asked me, why were you talking about Anton Daniels? I was looking around. As I do these loose nigga roundups, sometimes you got to go after the bigger fish to get your point across. So this will be the first in the series of Anton Daniels. Since everybody in the YouTube streets is talking about this now, I figure, I throw my hat in the ring and give my analysis on what we're about to hear and what these guys were talking about. So again, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to slide on over here. Let me move over here. Like I said, I sure need me a damn secretary. Let me slide up here. Got to take this off so we can put the movie on again. First off, let me just go ahead and put this out. It's if you got young folks around, you might want to have them step out of the room because there's going to be a little bit of, as I say, superlatives being used during this. Fair use. Again, as you see, it's for teaching, art, parody, text, music, news, learning, all those different things. Falls under the Fair Use Act, okay? And without further ado, folks, let me take this off. Again, fair use. Let's get to it.
Been lied to. They lied to us. Most men are triggered because they gotten comfortable allowing women to provide for them.
Never ever marry a woman or look to get in a relationship with a woman that is a single mother.
The women that agreed with going 50-50 with their men are women that's never had a real man.
You don't want people to be with you just because you have resources.
How can you expect her to work just as hard as you, come home, nurture the children, cook for you, have sex with you?
You can't keep the nigga that impregnated you. What makes you think that we want to hear your opinion?
There you
All right there, folks. You see the name of the podcast, the two gentlemen on the screen right there. Hardly Initiated. I think that's the name of the podcast. Again, I think I might have ran into them once or twice in the YouTube streets, but nothing ever set my fancy. So if you would like to, you can go over and check them out, like, share, and subscribe. Even follow them. That's up to you. But so these are the guys that's holding the particular, as they call it, debate. But you'll see
Have it, family. Welcome to Hardly Initiated. It is your host, Tyshawn Jackson, in the building with my co-host, Ryan Ketchens.
About to go
and
crazy
today,
tonight.
we have done something special.
Facts.
Ryan, I haven't been this excited about a show in a long time.
I want to be honest, man. We was probably talking about this for the last few weeks at least.
Absolutely.
I'm getting Boyce Watkins jumping in the comments. MTR hitting us. I'm getting text from my mom saying, "Hey, y'all don't go too crazy tonight." So I already know it's about to be incredible matchup to say the least.
Oh, to say the absolute least, man. The energy in studio is incredible.
Yeah.
The comments, the chats, the emails are popping off because we got two of some of the most influential brothers online sitting at the exact same table here in Atlanta, Georgia, in Hardly Initiated Studios today. If you're ready, drop a ready in the chat right now because it's about to go down. We got my brother Yada Awakening, and we have my brother Anton Daniels coming straight in from the D at Hardly Initiated today, and it is going down. Let me know if the sound is good in the chat, fellas. If the sound.
Yeah, sure. I was thinking about that. You said Bert and Ernie, but I was thinking more of Mutt and Jeff. To be quite honest with you. But anyway, the introduction. I think I might be borging a little bit. If I am, I apologize. Hey there, ABT. How you doing? How you doing? These two guys seem like they're fanboys already of Anton and Yada. They seem like they're fanboys, that they couldn't wait to talk about these guys. You heard him. Hey there, Shar. How you doing? How you doing? Yep, I think she went on. You're still on mute there, Shar. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Borg
Doing well, thank you. I'm borging just a little bit.
It was just a little bit, but I'm here.
All right, thank you. See, that's why I say you must have heard me. I say I sure need me a secretary. Anyway, sure. I'm gonna try and keep this to about 2 hours, folks. This particular debate lasts about a little bit over 2 hours, but I'm gonna try and keep this. So we're gonna skim through it. We're gonna skip through it. I'm gonna try and hit some of the parts that I listened to, and then we'll go through it what I haven't heard. So, sure, I as Dr. Richie would say, I don't want to assume what you have, whether you've seen this or not. Have you seen this already? Be safe out there, ABT. On 3 hands on the wheel.
3 and 9.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this. I don't watch this. It's all about women and women they don't have and all that stuff. No.
They say these two folks are heavyweights in the YouTube game. So wouldn't you say to me, this is my thought, wouldn't you say this is perpetuating the what do they call that, the gender wars?
Yeah, that's all this is. Opposite side create some whatever to get some super chats. That's all this is. Yeah. Before we go any further, again, let me say hello to everybody that's down there, HT and ABT and Zahara, and of course Shar up in here with me, and anybody else who dropping through. The link is down there, folks. If you want to come up and be a part of the conversation and share your thoughts, we're free over here. No one's going to judge you about your comments. There's no right or wrong. If we agree or disagree, hey, that's just how it is sometimes. But we're going to be respectful while we do that, all right? It's not going to be one of them free-for-alls like some of them other channels over here. We don't do that here. But let's continue.
Sound is good, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the chat real quick.
Right, and shout out to all the initiates joining us tonight, guys. I want you to go ahead and drop who you think will win tonight's debate in the chat, because we got NDBA in the building. Absolutely. We got the bag chasers in the building, and we got to kick it off.
And we got the initiates here in the building.
The initiates go crazy always
as well. And
shout out to the initiates.
Yeah. Look at these fellas, man.
Absolutely.
I'm ready.
Absolutely. So let's actually start here, because some people, they may not be familiar with the individual sitting at the table.
I think maybe I should, instead of using my regular opening song there, Shaw, I should have used My Posse's on Broadway.
Okay.
It was shouting out everybody, wasn't it?
Okay. They like, shoot, they trying to name drop.
Right. It's like the who's who is up in here, like this is the Academy Awards of YouTube or something like that. Once in a lifetime event. It ain't
Right.
that important, fellas. Like I said, listen, I know we all want to believe that, we all have a certain amount of important level. But to be quite honest with you, the black YouTube, and this is me included, we're just a small part of YouTube, folks. Outside of YouTube, there's a whole lot of folks that don't know Anton Daniels, that don't know Yada Awakening. Have you ever heard of Yada Awakening before now?
No.
Me either. So all this hype that they're building up here, I sure hope is worth the damn price of admission.
So what I want to do is slightly familiarize yourself with their talking points, with their stances, what they standing on. And let's actually start here with my brother Yada coming straight here out the A. Thank you so much for coming up here and joining us today. Yada was very serious about wanting this to be an in-person meeting of the men here today, because it's a lot of important conversations happening online, and I want to bring some clarity. All right, with brothers with two different philosophies sitting here today, we're going to bring some clarity. Let's play a clip to familiarize people with the brother Yada.
When a man says, where's the good women at? That translates, I'm a feminine man looking for women to take care of. Masculine man bring the femininity.
Huh? That's strike one already for me. If I was a young man and the first time I heard that, like, wait a minute. I don't know where these guys get their philosophy from sometimes, but that's kind of crazy to me, but let's go.
Out of any woman around them. How can you move into a woman's home and not remove her worries? You don't love her. You're reaching off of her. Now she's depressed. This is why she lost respect for you. At minimum, a man should have $300,000 US in his savings account. 50,000 of that goes to your new bride. Before you're...
Okay. He said at minimum. At minimum. Now that's why I started off with the medium income from the average black family. Again, it's from anywhere from 38,000 to 45 to 47,000. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, anybody. You can go look up the stats, but I do believe if I'm not accurate, I'm very close to it. So he just said you got to have how much?
He said 300,000.
Where you gonna get it from?
I guess all your relatives, you pool all your income together, and then you got a household of 300,000.
Absolutely, you got to rob a bank or something. Welcome to the show, the ABT. I know you're driving out there. Keep your both hands on the wheel, and anytime you want to chime in, just unmute yourself.
Hey,
how you doing? How you doing? Being safe out there, right?
Music. Yeah. I'm good.
All right,
Listen, I drive. Okay, I love to drive. I know what I'm doing out here. Okay.
All right. She can drive.
I know
she
what
can
I'm
drive. 55.
Man, please. We damn near on 80 right now. We doing
Lead foot.
Yes. Trying to get home. I got a long drive.
Listen to the Tupac doing 80 on the freeway.
Okay. Seriously. I wanted to tell you.
Let's continue on here, folks.
The Yada guy.
Mm-hmm.
The Yada guy. So I don't know a whole lot about him, but I do know that when he started, he was like a Kevin Samuels or something. He was like, a rim nigga. That's where he was. That was his. That's
Lord.
how. So to see him, to see him do this fucking song and dance, and yeah, brother, see him out here hustling. You know what I'm saying? Like straight scamming. He's scamming. I don't know. Like you could tell from how he talked. Like who really believe this nigga for real?
Somebody.
As soon as he hit somebody do.
He don't look like he got that type of bread. He don't look like no millionaire. Suit tight around the arms, and it don't fit like a millionaire suit would fit. You feel me? Nigga, yeah, I love this brother. Yeah, there's all this fake ass shit going on with this nigga up here.
Yeah, from listening to him talk, as soon as he said the 300K, I'd be a little leery myself. I most certainly would.
He was hating on black women when he first got
Yeah.
on the scene. So he might
See, there you have it.
he might have a milli now because you know he out here
They done
grifting.
pumped him up. They done pumped him up.
Yeah, somebody put money in his pocket. Somebody getting it from somewhere. He getting
Damn.
it from somewhere, and it's called scamming the community. That's what he did. But
They
I
do it
think
good.
at this point, if you can't tell the nigga's a grifter, that's on you and your
That's
slogan.
on you. I couldn't agree more. Let's continue here and see what else this grifter got to talk about.
Get married here, I love you, here's 50,000. The other 50,000 going to deposit your new family house.
Hold on. There we go.
That's strong.
There we
Strong
go.
philosophy right there.
Just giving them a piece of
Just
it.
the taste.
Just the taste. Because I want you to understand, this is and look at Anton, bro. First of all, I got to get the view here, the brothers, Lano. Let me see both faces.
Yeah.
We got to I need to be looking at these brothers the entire show.
For the whole show.
The entire show, we need to see these brothers' faces here. Okay? And I also...
You're a funny guy.
You're a funny guy.
Hilarious.
And, Anton is equally as influential as he's been online for, it's close to it. Is it close to a decade now, Anton?
Yes, sir.
We was looking at some old videos, man. I think we seen one video. You was in a motorcycle headed to like.
From what I've seen so far, a decade full of bullshit. A decade full of bullshit. This y'all king right here, Anton.
The stadium.
You got to give people the journey. You can't just show up one day and then have some type of philosophy, because I think that's what happens with preachers, right? That's what happens with people that finesse the community. That's what's happening with our political landscape. So I think that, if anybody that understands spirituality, anybody that understands their word, you'll know them by their fruits. Anybody can say anything. Anybody can sell anything. But very few people actually can show you the receipts without just talking about it. The talking is the cherry on top, right? The receipts is the reflection of what you really are. So that's what I advocate for.
And he already gave you a bit of what he's standing on here in his philosophy. But for those of you who may not be familiar, let's go ahead and familiarize him real quick. Go ahead and roll the clip, Lano.
They lied to us. They told us happy wife, happy life. They raised their daughters into being feminists. They lost control of their households.
Under no circumstances should you ever become a stepfather. Don't let them shame you because you got preferences. Never, ever go and be a step-baby daddy and take on a family that's not yours. That's not in your best interest. And that's not what the Bible says.
Shouldn't you be able to keep that impregnated you? You telling me that even that don't even want to be bothered with you? He'd rather pay child support and leave than sit there and be up under your thumb. And we supposed to take you seriously.
There you have it.
Yeah, there you have it. There you have it. I got to ask black women this question. When you first hear that man's philosophy, if you're a black woman or a single black woman, why do y'all still listen to him? Why do you still support him? If this is this man's philosophy, why do you still support it? I can understand if you were a married woman and fell for this. But as a single woman, he is directly disrespecting you just because he now allowed this stream, these guys, to show the world that this is his philosophy. But y'all over there supporting him because he did an after stream after this to claim his victory. Who do I see in the chat? Single women and baby mothers trying to prove him wrong. Don't make sense to me. The best way to prove somebody is wrong about something is to go out and handle your business and let them watch from the distance.
Just a piece.
Now,
just a piece.
Now, Yada, you had quite the reaction on that one.
That is comedy.
And don't even worry, because we're going to get into these conversations in just a few, okay? For those of you who want to understand here, by the way, what's going down, we bringing these two men of opposite views to the table here, again, to have the most important conversations that's prevalent right now on the internet with these two men. So I'm very excited to have this here happen.
Right.
They're both husbands, okay? Just clear. They are both fathers, and they're both leaders of their own communities.
Let me drop the rules on this real quick, guys.
Let's do it.
Don't forget, we are live every Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Tashawn and I, now this is the thing. This upcoming Wednesday and next Monday, actually, guys, there's no show.
right.
What's the question?
So the question is,
When he leaves.
What's the question?
should men be expected to cover 100% of the bills?
I believe if men are claiming to be providers, and we know that means to take care of whoever's under you, that he should provide 100%. While we're doing this, this gives the woman time and space, not just to be great for the man, but also great for the children. And I want to use myself for example. I provide 100% for my woman. My son, he's only 5 years old, and he was tested 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. 2 days ago, he's only in kindergarten, but he tested at a 4th grade level. Why is that? Because I handle my responsibility, providing, and providing isn't just financial.
I'm sorry, sir. Ding, 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 ding. First thing I heard you say wrong is your money has nothing to do with your child's intelligence. Now, because your child could possibly be homeschooled, could that accelerate the learning process that you have? Yes, it could. But no disrespect, your child could be dumb as a rock. And no amount of homeschooling could change that. Are there some children that excel at learning quickly? Yes, they are. But again, that has nothing to do with what you provide or tell your wife that she can and can't do about going to work. Yes, she has more time to spend with the child, but if the child is not able to pick up on what she's putting down, no matter how many hours you spend at your office or no matter how many dollars you bring to the house, that's not going to make your kid any smarter. Anybody? Sure, you disagree or agree with that?
Oh, I get what he's saying. He's saying that his wife is able to be at home to teach the child, so the child is ahead. So I get what he's saying.
Right, I agree with that. I understand. I understand exactly what he's saying. He's saying that with him being able to provide to do everything, his wife can spend more time with, teaching the kid. Now, is that advantageous? Yes, it is. But what I'll say to that, it sounds like already from the previews of what I've learned about you is it seems like that you seem to be in a financial situation that you're able to do that. A lot of us aren't able to do that. A lot of us are not able to allow our wives to sit at home, take care of the children. A lot of us require that our wives go out and work along with us, and then we figure out a way to have the children taken care, i.e. babysitters, daycares, different things like that. So I understand what he's saying. So, but it doesn't work for everybody that way.
Any man off the street can walk to a woman and give her money. Providing is elevating a woman mentally, elevating a woman spiritually, emotionally. This is what it means to provide for a woman. Not just, here's some money, run off with it. No. Let me elevate you. Let me bring you closer to your God. Let me set standards in your life. If your father gave you to me, you are my responsibility from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. I love everything about you 100%. And if I can't do that, I'm not a man. I'm a male. And that's a difference.
That's your one
Man,
track.
talk to me, brother.
No.
Talk to me, brother.
No.
Talk to me,
That's
brother.
not what we're going to do today.
Talk to me, brother.
So this is what we're going to do.
Talk to me, brother.
Because he's like Kamala Harris right now.
Talk to me, brother.
And I've heard all of these talking points.
Talk to me.
And I don't even study him.
Okay, if this was a debate, Anton, a regular debate, you would have lost already because you came out with, as y'all like to use those big words, ad hominems. You came out with insults. So you already lost the debate. And that tells you exactly where he's going. By him coming out and saying, no, we're not going to do this. You're trying to change the narrative. And this is where the moderator should have came in and said, okay, instead of getting ready to go through this long soliloquy that you're about to go through, please answer the question. Another thing I think the moderator should have done was automatically put a clock. Each guy here would have had 2 minutes to counteract or to give their yays and nays. 2 minutes on each question. But they just allowed them to ramble on. You'll see what I'm talking about. Sure.
and miss his super chats? No.
Yeah. Hit that link. Hit that link.
Ain't no clock.
Right.
Because he says the same thing over and over again.
Talk to me.
You got to control yourself
Talk
because
to me,
that's
brother.
not manly.
Talk to me, brother.
You got to control yourself.
Brother, talk to me, brother.
So you see how I was quiet
Talk to
when
me.
you were speaking?
No, you cut me
No,
off,
no,
but go
no,
ahead, brother.
I didn't say anything.
You got it, brother. There you go.
I was quiet when you were speaking.
Go ahead, brother.
And so now we're going to add nuance. Now we're going to add context. So first thing we have to do is we have to ask ourselves the question, what does it mean to be a man? Because being manly has nothing to do with a woman. It has nothing to do with pandering. It has nothing.
The fuck are you talking about? Let me see. Let me give you some. Shar, could you turn your microphone on for a minute?
Yes.
Now, just for hypotheticals, right? I saw you and I said, I got to have that. And I came to you and I showed the what we consider to be manly traits of keeping myself clean, and I got a job, and I do all the things. I got charisma, I got this, I got that, I got all these different things that we consider ourselves to be what is manly. If I'm doing all of these things, who am I fishing for? A man or a woman?
You fishing for the woman.
Right. So how was what he just said make any sense? That being manly is not to attract a woman. I thought that was the purpose of being manly. If you just distribute all these traits of being manly, that's supposed to attract who?
A woman. But maybe, he just, want to include those who like the booty warrior.
Well, he did interview the booty warrior. So
Yeah,
you're suspect
include
already.
Everybody.
Right.
Include everybody,
No, well, for me, inclusion ain't. No, it don't work that way for me. It don't work like that, man.
Well, you gotta get the super chat,
No, well, you super chats. You could have even with super chats. You should have. Hold up. I would have asked the moderator. Well, who you trying to ask for? Are you looking for pitching or catching? Which one? But he said it. I didn't.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with just providing. Being a man means being purposeful. That's what being a man is. That means that whatever it is that I seek from God.
Okay. I hate to keep cutting this guy off. But anybody go look up the definition of man. If you look up the definition, there's nowhere in when you look up man, it says purposeful. It just says an adult male. That's it. And who do we consider adult males in our society? 18-year-old up. That's when they say you reach an adult. 18, 21 to buy alcohol and cigarettes. Right? Just that statement. That's just that statement right there alone. It's not that, according to our society, it's not that you're a man at 18, but it's society that put limitations on you becoming a man, i.e., you're 18, you're old enough to serve armed forces, but at 18, you're not old enough to buy beer and cigarettes. That still does not nullify you from being, as we consider, by age alone, a man. It's nothing that has to do with provisions. It's what we put on it. How we as individuals define what we consider an adult male, meaning man. How do you measure up? But the definition is standalone. We can add to it. Am I wrong? Anybody disagree? Right. Let's continue and see what Anton has to say.
Because my purpose is not a woman. A woman is a helpmeet. So when he panders to you guys, and ladies, remember, I don't know what he's selling. I don't know what product that he has, but my goal is to get you married. My goal is to have you married based off of what God says is sanctified, right? I don't want y'all divorced. I don't want you unequally yoked. I don't want you to be a single baby mama. I don't want you shooting your shot in the dark thinking that this guy is giving you insight when he's just giving you talking points with no real substance behind it.
Well, that was a nice little speech there, Anton, but last time I checked, you wasn't God. He said, I don't want y'all to do this. I don't want y'all to be single baby mamas.
Talk to the men. Don't talk to
Right.
women. Talk to men.
Say that
Say,
again.
brother, don't be, doing that to that young lady. You see she's underage.
I was, you beat me to the corner store there, Shaw. I was just about to say that. So the men have no responsibility. It's just he don't want for every single mama, single daddy. Argue that point. I don't think anybody can.
And here's the context. At what age do you want to be married? Do you put yourself in a position to find the person that's best for you? Has your father given you away? Does your parents actually see value in the person that is looking to marry you? And when you start to ask yourself these questions, and I don't speak to just rich people because we both have money, we both have resources. So let's remove that from the table. I speak to the majority, not the minority. And when you are 20, 21, 22 years old, especially if you are a person that's looking to become a man, you are supposed to fail in controlled environments, meaning that your father is supposed to give you everything.
Ooh, this gonna belong to me. This card just said you are. Listen to what he said. You are supposed to fail at controlled environment. What's the key word there? Control. So did that make any sense just now?
No, you're gonna need a part 2.
Yeah. If it's a controlled environment, sure, that means that everything is put in place for you not to do what? Fail.
Well,
It's like a fucking open book test, Anton. They're going to give you the answers. All you got to do is find them. And if you've been paying attention in class, guess what? It's probably from the last 2 or 3 chapters that you did in class that week. That's basically a controlled environment, an open book test. I know it's going to kind of sliding off the scale a little bit, but basically it's just the same thing. A controlled environment, how can you fail? I'm going to stop you. That's wrong. Follow that parameter there. Follow what the next step is. Doesn't make sense. But listen to this next shit that he says.
He's supposed to give you what you need in order to be successful. My father was able to buy me a car, but he told me that I had to earn it and work for it because I valued it more, which then extended to every single thing that I touch, including the woman. See, my wife is here. My wife travels with me. She knows me. She understands me, right? And so at 20, 21, 22 years old, you supposed to be broke unless you're doing something that you ain't supposed to do in order.
This loose nigga just said at 21, 22 years old, you are supposed to be broke. Somebody call Mark Zuckerberg and tell him that. Somebody call those what do you call those Silicon Valley guys that at 21, 22, they was not supposed to be making that kind of money. Mark Zuckerberg was 19 years old when he founded Facebook? I don't think his parents was paying for very much after he turned 21, 22.
think about all the athletes and musicians and everyone that has trained at a young age and became a young woman, young man, and making a lot of money at 20, 21. Yeah.
Again, you beat me to the corner store because I was about to say, not to mention athletes. The average NFL athlete is how old? They're in their early 20s. When they come out of college, they go into college when they're 18? Some of them skip a year. So when they go into the NFL, they're 19, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, same thing. Baseball, same thing. Figure skating. A lot of those folks that are in what do you call track and field, a lot of them haven't even hit their 20s yet. So Anton, please go tell them folks that at 19, 20 years old, they were supposed to be broke. They fucked up the system. This is y'all king. This is y'all God. Listen, again, folks, if this is no disrespect to anyone that went to college, but if these folks that's talking is indicative of a college education, I'm glad I did not go. Supposed to be broke. Going to tell the average 20, go, what?
Hey, they went to Griff University,
Right, or Kicking Buck Tech, one or the other.
They got their PhD.
Listen to this again.
Okay.
We graduate high school. What most of it, the average of us, not less, we're exceptional. And he said his kid is exceptional. So your kid will probably graduate a little bit earlier than yada. But for the most part, most of us graduate high school at 18, right?
Yes.
So from 18 to 23, you're supposed to stay broke? Huh? Anton?
To get it, you're supposed to be building. You're supposed to be understanding each other. It's a storming, a norming, a forming situation. And in no circumstance do you ever come into it fully understanding who the person is, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. And so when we start to look at what God has ordained to be great, the purpose of a man, it's not just to give spirituality and leadership, and it's to understand. The first thing that the word says, in everything that you do, you get understanding. And everything you do, you get understanding. I don't even know her. I don't even know you. Everybody is out here dating, everybody running around, everybody doing everything. They're giving themselves to each other. We think that money or resources or what you can do or what you can offer a person is supposed to make up for all of the insecurities and the problems and the issues that you have in your childhood. What have you solved for? Right? Do you have problems in your childhood? Do you even have a father? Do you know what it means to be a man? It's a lot of women that's raising men to be feminine because they're in single parent households, right? How does that look? What does it look like when you get into a situation with a woman that has a child out of wedlock already, and then she still has to deal with the father? How do you deal with that? See, these are the questions that he can't.
Well, at some point in time, Anton, maybe it's just me. But again, the moderators, how long were they going to let you talk? And you have yet to answer the question. You're looking around the room as if you are preaching, like you are trying to tell everybody, listen to me. I'm the one that's important here. What he has to say has nothing of importance, of no value to you. But listen to me. Let me go into this long, drawn-out sermon. But you have yet to answer the question. Yeah, every day I'm hustling these loose niggas on YouTube that believe me.
Hit the link.
Hit that link. Hit that Cash App. I'm going to stop the show if y'all don't hit the Cash App. Y'all don't want this information. Y'all don't want this. Because ain't nobody paying me for it.
He can't answer for you because the only thing he talks about is pandering. I'm talking about context. I'm talking about substance. I'm talking about spirituality. I'm talking about praying together. I'm talking about building. You're supposed to get married when you're young because it prevents you from sinning and finding yourself with all of these bodies and these soul ties that ultimately carry with you for the rest of your life.
Okay, if you're supposed to get married when you're young, who the fuck want somebody that's broke? You just told them a little while ago. You just told them a little while ago that they're supposed to be broke.
Right. And what's the one? Well, shoot, it's two. We already know money and sex that most people divorce for. So start off broke,
right?
And have sex and then have children and broker.
Shit, two broke people don't. What? Two broke people don't do nothing but argue.
Exactly. And then he, more than
Right.
likely, he want a little relief. He gonna be where? Out in the street. He ain't gonna be praying and
Now you-
building together and
right.
spirituality and all that other BS he talking about.
Jesus, but don't try me. Come on, hey folks, the Anton followers that might see this. Do y'all listen? Do y'all listen to what he's saying, or you just really believe that he actually is making sense right now? Do y'all listen to what this sermon that he just gave, this mini sermon that Pastor Milk Dud just gave y'all? Did any of y'all pay attention to it? No substance, no nothing, and he still has yet to answer the question. Let's see.
And then you start to see every single man, and you can't take it out of your memory with the person that you wind up being with. Most women have skipped over the man that they're supposed to be with because they didn't have the guidance, because they didn't have the spirituality. They don't know the word of God. And so it's easy to just say, oh yeah, just provide 100%. What happens when life happens and you 22, 23, 24 years old and you get married? The economy messed everybody up. Everybody that thought that they had it, guess what? You got a plan, and then God has a plan. What happened to the character? Why you don't talk about character?
Well, if you're broke, you ain't worried about the economy anyway. If you're supposed to be broke from 18 to 22.
You're gonna be sitting across the table. Hey, honey, can you slice me off some of the character you got? I'm hungry.
Or down in your mama's basement, because you said they're supposed to get married young. So what they do, get married young, stay broke, and stay with their mamas.
Hey, he talking about character. You can eat that and survive, okay?
Shit, cartoon character.
Well, you can break them off a piece of dip it in some spirituality.
I hate to have to see. I hate to have to go Steve Harvey. Break me off a piece of that funk. Because it's got to be some good shit you smoking.
Hold on, and Anton,
Why he don't talk about character? Because what I teach my daughter, I'm a reflection of the man that I would want my daughter to marry. I don't tell my daughter to go and look for a guy to provide for her. I tell my daughter to go and look for a guy that's believing in God, that has good character, that actually worships and looks for and focuses on his purpose, because everything else falls in line. The money is going to come. We so busy chasing money. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. You don't have to chase money. You don't have to look to women to provide for them, because if you're naturally that, if you're raised up in the admonition of your father, which is...
Well, Anton, I'll have to ask you this. If I was a supporter of yours, what the fuck is Money Mondays all about then?
Check his Patreon out. That's what he tell you. If you want any answers, you have to go to his Patreon.
Right. So basically, aren't you being a little bit, what's that, what did they say, hypocritical?
I explain everything on my Patreon. Just go to my Patreon. Anything you want to know, just go to my Patreon.
I got to spend money to get more information, but I'm broke. You're dealing with young men that you're saying that they're supposed to be broke. I don't just take the millionaire off there, Zahara. You just a fake ass. Just take the millionaire off. Don't give him that much credit.
What God has ordained for you to do, you don't have to worry about that. That's naturally in you. And so, yes, absolutely, she should be purposeful. And her purpose at that time could be raising the children, depending on if y'all got children. Her purpose at that time could be out there and bringing in resources, because she's learning a new skill that can then translate into the company that y'all build together. It's a lot of nuance and a lot of context, but I hate it when people pander to women because they leading y'all astray. And it sounds like I'm a harsh father. It sounds like it's a difficult situation. It sounds like you're just supposed to be giving everything. But if that's the case, then why are we as a society, why are we as a people, as black people in particular, so far behind, and we further behind than we ever been, even though we the freest and we have the opportunity to choose for ourselves? This isn't God. Ain't none of this what he talking about God right now. And I ain't even studied him. I ain't even getting studied. I'm going to let you cook.
Come on, man.
100% of the bills. I'm assuming that means based on.
Okay, that was pretty long there. Again, as a moderator, they let him talk too long, and he said yet to answer the question.
You gonna talk for 10 minutes about
And
A to
nothing.
Z.
Nothing.
A to Z. And he talked about this, what you ate, where you're going, about his family and his wife here and his daughter there. What the world?
And have yet to answer the question.
I guess he answered the question by saying be broke. So I guess that's pretty much the answer. There you go.
But remember when we first started this, the build up and the we was waiting to see this. This what y'all was waiting for?
Shoot, you can see this on his channel. I'm pretty sure.
Right. And shit. At any damn time.
I guess just pick a grift, whichever grift you like.
That's what a grifter does best. They figure out what's the next angle.
Yeah.
This ain't working. Let me try something else. This ain't working. Let me try something else. Seems to me Anton Daniel's been successful at it for at least 10 years now.
Well, no.
No?
No.
Not that long. 4 years, 5 years.
No. Since I would say about 2020 is when he switched over to the newest grift.
Damn.
Yeah. That's been working a little bit better for him.
I hear them sirens in the back. Anton, they coming for you. You better hide.
Okay.
Let's continue here.
The context that you just gave.
It's based
that
off
men-
of your circumstance and situation. Everyone is different, and nobody is a monolith.
My brother.
Nobody is
My
a
brother.
monolith.
Okay.
I
let's go,
love how he put so much passion into his words. But when God created man, God gave man a purpose. And what was the purpose? What was the purpose? He placed that man in a garden. What's this? That's a tree. What's this? Those are clouds. What's that? That's a sky. What's that? That's a bear.
That's not what happened.
Listen to
You
me.
don't even know the
Man,
word of
listen
God.
to me.
You don't even know the word of
Listen
God, but
to me,
I'ma let you
brother.
cook.
Listen to me. And when God seen that he was fit to represent himself as a man, he put him to rest. And from that rib, he took Eve. Now, this is a fact. Now we have to understand, what does it mean when you create a woman from the rib? What is a rib? A rib protects the internal organs, the heart and the rib. If the rib is mishandled, it fractures, it breaks. And what does that do to the man? It leaves him vulnerable. It leaves him hurt. But if a man handles this rib, protects this rib, uplifts this rib, guides this rib, loves this rib, this woman is able to become something greater than what she was created, which uplifts the man himself. So God gave a man responsibility before he gave him a woman. He didn't say, here's Adam and here's Eve. He says, here's Adam and here's a responsibility. And then when God was seen that he was fit to be considered a man and a head, which God is the head of man and man is the head of woman, he then gave God Eve. And then what happened, brother? And then what happened?
Well, folks, you can see why so many folks give up their money on Sunday morning. You can see why, because there was a lot of yelling, a lot of loud talking, and a lot of wrong. A lot of wrong. Only part they got right, that God did create Adam from Eve Eve from Adam as a helpmate. Anton was about to tell him that God did not allow the man that he created to name everything, which we all know. If you study the Bible, as these two guys try to tell you that they're quoting the Bible, that you would automatically know just from the few statements that they made. All they're doing is spouting some talking points from some stuff that they heard somewhere else, probably from their childhood. So let's see what's the counter strike to this.
You tell me. Because I'm gonna add the context. I want you to
No, we can go in deep. If you want chapters, whatever, we can do this. But I need every young man listening to me that was raised in a home without a father. young girls that was raised in homes without fathers. Your mother is divine greatness. Your mother is beautiful. I don't care what no man says about you, your mother, or where you can go. Strive to elevate. Strive to become the best version you are before you get into a relationship, so you don't have to drag a woman through the same things your fathers did to your mothers. Love yourself enough to provide for yourself. So when you get into a relationship with a woman, you don't have to abandon her or drag her through your turmoils. All praises is completely due to the Most High. Go ahead, my brother.
You know what's so funny about that story, the part that he left out?
What's that?
Is that she hearkened to the voice of the serpent. And the man wasn't there to protect her. God was. They had everything. They didn't even know that they was naked. He made her because he said that it wasn't good for man to be alone. And he didn't point to figure it out. He let him name every single thing that was in the garden. And the context matters. And this is what happens when you know your word. And the interesting part about it is the devil know parts of the Bible too.
Oh, man. I thought this was going to be a conversation about who's supposed to pay what. When did this become a religious sermon on Sunday morning, fellas? Please tell me, when did this become a Sunday morning service? Credit where credit's due. Like I said, even the sun shine on the dog ass if he hold it up high enough. So, Anton, you were right about that. Part of what you just said. So I'm glad you shut old boy down with that. Shar?
Woo!
I thought I heard some church music in the background.
Woo!
The deacon is up off in the house, laid back with his dark shades on, with his point. You ever notice how the preachers always they're always using their hand to point down at people, like they're talking down to you? You ever notice that, or is it just me?
Well, he is up high on the podium there, so yeah.
He's a pie. He's a pie on the podium.
He's up high on the podium.
Oh, okay.
But you know, just listening to this, I was looking for some copyright-free gospel music as they were talking, and I'm like, what is this? This is extra grift. I mean, now you got spirituality in it. I mean, God was nowhere around. 2-3 years ago, it was everything, you know, a woman ain't this and a woman ain't that. Now they're trying to get an audience of women because women are pulling away from this rhetoric.
That's right.
And we are trying to get ourselves in a better place. So that now they're trying to lure us in with the spirit.
Come back. As the words of BGS, he's trying to get y'all to come back to the table.
That's what he's trying to. They're trying to do. This is the new grift. How interesting.
Yes,
okay.
It's the new grift. Yes, indeed. So again, remember, Shar, some time ago, it's probably about 3-4 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. I told you I had those folks evaluate the radio station, right? Remember what I told you?
Yes.
And said, if you do not have women supporting you, you won't be in this business long. And maybe some of these guys heard that.
Well, I know Mr. Fake Ross there, he lost a lot of women on his channel. Some nice looking women too with boobies. And
they didn't mind. Listen, they didn't mind getting up on camera with the hind leg cross.
So they went on about their business. And Auntie Yanni said, hey, don't let no man disrespect you.
Right.
You're right.
Right, like Sixth Goddess and Auntie Yanni and a lot of those ladies that used to hang around there. Of course, they are very attractive ladies. So again, I never understood why you wouldn't hold your own stream.
Well, they are now.
They sure are, ain't they? And he's killing them. As I was driving around today, I was listening to Sharon Bracey's stream, and some of the shit that I heard them loose niggas up there saying. I'm glad there was some women on the panel. Good Lord. But let's continue with these two right here. You know, loose niggas not only wear blue jeans and wife beaters, they wear shit like this too.
Yep.
Devil know parts of the Bible too. So that the serpent itself was able to beguile Eve because he understood what God told them not to do, not to eat from that tree, not to eat that fruit.
No.
And although she had all...
No, he didn't tell them. He said, don't touch the tree. That's what he told them. If you want to be directly quote the Bible like you seem to try to say that you are, he did not say thou should not eat of the fruit. He said thou should not touch the tree of life. Read it for yourself.
All of the covering that she could ever want and need. There is no greater provider than God himself. And you know what she did? She was disobedient. She still ate, and not only did she eat, she went and she gave it to her husband too. Which then got them kicked out, and then they had to put cherubims around the tree of life so that they wouldn't eat it and become gods themselves. That's scripture. And
now that part I will agree with. And what he's speaking of in the cherubim is, if you read the scriptures, or whether you look at the King James Version or the Old Testament, the cherubim is a big flaming sword as to throw off the direction of anyone that tries to find, as they say, Shangri-La or the Tree of Life or the Garden of Eden. How many programs is out there dedicated to just trying to find these places? Atlantis, Shangri-La, the Garden of Eden. That's what he's talking about. So God knowing exactly that, and again, Anton, you're right on some things. So I can see that you may not have completely studied the Bible, but you do have a slight understanding of it. To mention that. But the reason it was put there, it's not just for Adam and Eve, it's for any person. Because once Adam and Eve ate of the tree of life, they themselves, although they weren't high as the Almighty, they themselves became gods, because by eating of the tree of life, they were exposed to things that mere mortals were not supposed to be exposed to, or shouldn't be exposed to, according to the Most High.
then their children was raised up to then kill one another because one of them was jealous of the other. And then the children then became generational curses as a result of what the beguilement was from the wife, from Eve.
Brother.
No.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Okay.
That's literally what happened. So my point is that context matters. It's not just looking at it on the surface.
Definitely.
It's deep diving into the understanding. You need to get a concordance. You should get a concordance, because I don't know what book you read. I don't know what version you understand, but you got to get a concordance to understand what words mean. And you need to understand exactly what God instructed Adam to do.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Genesis chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall y'all touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
That's correct. He punished her first. He punished the woman. For strengths, for weaknesses, because it's not just one way, right? Women do add value into the conversation, and you're 20, 21, 22, 23 years old. You're supposed to be broke.
Again, he says it again. Damn.
I had to put that in there. If this wasn't your show, I would have left. I was about to click off, and I forgot where I was.
You're right, Sean. I mean, who sat through this? Who sat through this busted sermon?
Oh my goodness.
Who super chatted these folks? Like these guys know what they're talking about. Yeah, and you know what? These are two guys I'm really gonna follow. Listener, if you sat through that makeshift sermon just now, read. all we needed was some tambourine in the choir. But the conversation was supposed to be about, is a man supposed to pay 100% of the bills? And is he wrong if he doesn't? Or something to that similar effect. But so far, as you can see, we've gone 41 minutes into this particular thing, minus the little commercials and all that. They ain't even got to that yet. But then when we move up, he goes right back to Dumb Street. You're supposed to be broke. After all of that he just said, all that biblical scripture, he comes back to the same damn thing. You as a young man is supposed to be broke. Talking about circular. You want to try it again, Charles, to see what maybe did we get past did we drive past Church Street?
Go ahead.
Relatively, I mean, compared to what me and him have, you're supposed to be broke. You're not going to be making $200, $300, $400, $1 million, $2 million a year. That's just a fact, unless you're doing something that you're not supposed to do. So at that age, I absolutely advocate for people to get married. And I also believe that it's best for people that have less resources to get married, because it's a quick way to build wealth. The goal ultimately should always be to where you can release her from doing the things that normal women would do that are single, as far as having to provide and protect for themselves. But at the same time, I also think that there's nuance in that, because if you're in a relationship with somebody that's early in there and you got it from scratch, I think that she has equity in what you do. If you're a 40, 50-year-old man, I think you need to probably get yourself together before you decide that you want to bring a woman into your space.
Any of that makes sense?
I have no. I don't know.
Come on. Come on now.
I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I got lost.
It's a bunch of word salad. Right. I'm sorry. It's a bunch of word salad that made absolutely no sense. And 1 minute you're advocating for young people to be broke, and the next minute you're advocating for young people to get married. How do you advocate? How do those two work together? How does that work, Anton? Please explain it to me. Two broke people gonna build what? Where they supposed to get 300,000 from? Right, plant a tree. And money gonna fall out sooner or later. Is this they're gonna plant they're gonna plant a money tree in the backyard or something? Yeah, hallelujah. Can I get an amen? Lord have mercy. But again, Anton, I don't get it. And normally I would not, folks. I like you, Shar. I would have been clicked off from this a long time ago. Long time ago, because this is not a debate. I can get this over there. I can get this over there at Sharon. No disrespect. I can get this over there at what you call it, Cellulite, or any of one of these other podcasts. The way y'all was building this up, like we was about to get a show. All I've heard so far, every time I click on, is Anton talking, and the three of y'all listening. Am I missing something?
Mm-hmm. So far, just a bunch of "thou shall not." That's it.
Let's see if he moves on from something else different.
And you can't provide. And that's the context. I think that when you're older, if you've been playing video games and you've been doing the same thing over and over again and you don't have the results, you need to go and study the word. You need to get in the Bible. You need to dedicate.
No, at 40 or 50 years old, the Bible is not going to help you now. If you ain't got it together by then, if you haven't got, listen, everybody fails. So I'm not saying that's not a possibility. At 40, 50 years old, you done worked your whole life, something happens to you, and you end up with nothing. Rudy Giuliani is your case of that. He broke.
Oh man, whole thing.
They broke him down to his socks.
That is so sad. That poor man.
But that's what he get, though. That's what he get. If I know we're off subject here, but if I was Shea Moss and Ruby Freeman, I would take a picture in Rudy Giuliani's house and send it to him. You should have kept your mouth shut.
Mm.
Now look where we at in your place with that Joe DiMaggio jersey, because that got to go too. But again, folks, the reason why I really wanted to do this, and it goes back to what I was talking about the other day: misinformation, disinformation. This is what these guys are getting. These are what these big content creators are putting out. And you see all these people running around talking about the state of Black YouTube, but at some point in time, we have to take credit for building these guys. Because we can see in our chat room here, and I think it's universal, most of us would not have sat through this. I know I wouldn't.
Not at all.
No, this shit is like watching paint dry. Check this out. Let's go a little bit further.
Educate yourself. You need to get a coach. You need to figure out what life is like. So at that point, I don't think that you should be in a relationship.
So context, just so I understand, a man between his 20s and I guess between 20 and 30, it's fine for him to not be able to provide 100%.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
He's building with his lady. As 100%. A man gets
40. And here's the rest of the context, though, because I think that society, and we live in this social media culture, that everybody thinks that you're supposed to live in a mansion. Everybody thinks that you're supposed to have a high-rise condo, right? You provide 100%, especially if you have children, but are you willing to lower your lifestyle in order to build successfully and then add value into the assets that will ultimately make you rich in the future, right? So it's so much nuance, there's so much context to this, and it depends on where you at.
If I heard you use them two words one more damn time, nuance or context, because you're not doing either. You're not giving any nuance, and you're damn sure not giving any context. This is word salad. This is, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but it sounds good. I'm just going to say some shit. I'm just going to use my hands as gestures.
Yep, that's what he does.
But this is all this is word salad. And you, after a while, you're not listening to him. You're actually following his hands and his head movements. A snake charmer. What's up, Oni the Ghost? How you doing, good brother? Good to see you, my man. Good to see you.
Your life. It depends on what you study, and it depends on what your family structure is like. It depends on if you come from money and resources, right? All of those things matter, and I think that there is no one right answer. It depends on the circumstance, and everybody's circumstance is different.
There we have it. Okay, Yada, we're gonna give you a chance to respond here.
I love the way he articulated himself. It's very beautiful. But being well traveled, I've seen men provide 100% without having so much. And like the brother said, long as they're staying within their standards, I don't think a man should get into a relationship with a woman until he knows he's able to handle all responsibilities by himself, just in case that woman leaves him. Because if you're in a relationship with a woman and you're living with a woman and she's paying half and you're paying half and she leaves you, what are you going to do? Lose everything you have, your car, your home?
Does that make sense?
Maybe I have to say a little bit more, but as of right now, it's just the other side of the coin.
Right. Dumber and dumber.
A man has to be able to provide for himself and another comfortably before he entertains a woman. But over not just speaking on the financial part. A man needs to make sure he's spiritually whole, mentally whole, emotionally whole. Because if he's coming from America and coming from certain backgrounds, majority of the time they're scarred. Even if they were raised in home with two parents, they're scarred and they're battling some form of childhood trauma. And men, we get so caught up in our ego and our pride, we tend to bleed on the person that's right next to us, forgetting this person's on our team. Now we're stressed out because we can't pay the bills like we should. She's fussing at us. Now what we do, we drinking more, we smoking more, we trying to run away from the truth. We're trying to run away from our children. Brothers, if you're listening to me and you didn't have the proper father in your life, please, I beg you, take care of yourself. Love yourself, provide for yourself. Spend the first 5 years of your adulthood working on becoming the man that you need to be so you can get the woman you want and not the woman you settled for. Because a lot of men are getting into relationships with women they're settling for because they can't get the woman that they truly want. Now they're misusing this woman, abusing this woman. Children come and leave this woman. Most men that leave women because they weren't properly good with them. They didn't love them. They couldn't connect to them on all levels. They got a woman that took them at the level which they were on, and a woman that they truly.
Right. Wait a minute. I past that. I only came in with some fresh information. You know, when I was listening to Sharon Bracey's chat, I did see that in passing in the chat room, but I didn't pay much attention to it. But from what I understand, this dude with the jacket on has some, dare I say, some not so good things in his past. Oh, but wow. I didn't want to bring it up, so I have to just use the word allegedly. But again, he's like that other guy. What's his name? The Honest Truth. Now, he wasn't telling the truth about shit. But again, folks, this is what I mean. Sometimes we have to take responsibilities because we build these guys up. We believe Anton Daniels. We believe this guy, Yada Awakenings. Because you put Awakenings at his name, that means you believe him. So far from both these gents, this is supposed to be a debate, but this seems to me just like, let me see if I can out-talk the other guy. Who got the best sermon? This is not a debate. This is a shit. I don't know what you call this.
They want it. They're not going to look at them. So all I'm saying to my brothers, and I love what Antoine. I don't disagree when he said family is business. No, man, I for sure, it's business. But brothers, please take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, financially. Make sure you're talking to counselors. Make sure you're dealing with childhood trauma, especially if you were raised in homes with abusive fathers, either verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, or physically abusive, or you didn't have a father whatsoever. Spend this time in your adulthood loving on yourself, protecting yourself, leading yourself, and guiding yourself, so when you do find a woman that you love, you don't break her. Women can't endure what we endure. They can't do it. And when a man is building on the come up, we pour so much hurt onto our women.
Well, again, folks, this is, can I disagree with what he just said in that little passage? Not too much, because he is right in some things. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you are able to mentally, physically, and spiritually bring a woman into your fold. Even Malcolm X said that. As they call him, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said it as well. If you know that in your heart of hearts that you have no great intentions with this woman, or you're not going to marry this woman, then leave her alone. Leave her alone. But again, from what I hear it's the same thing. It's always falls back to the men not taking responsibility. Like he said, you in a marriage, you get divorced. What am I supposed to do as the man? Okay, a lot of men walk away, leave the woman there with the children. But if she asks, what am I supposed to do as a single mother? You tell her, well, you shouldn't have laid down. You shouldn't have laid down. You shouldn't have became pregnant, or you wouldn't be a single mother.
Because men get stressed out. When we trying to build, we get stressed out. To get to where me and Antoine's at, we put a lot of work in. And
get to a certain point, people start to expose themselves the longer that they talk because they only have a one-track mind. They only can speak to one demographic because that's not the minority. It's easy to pander, but it's much more difficult to solve a problem. If I identify a problem as the majority of women are having sex with a minority of the men and getting pregnant out of wedlock, why are we not speaking to that?
Okay, folks, we're going to go about another 10 minutes on this shit. That's pretty much about it. Something told me I should have brought something else because I thought I was going to be able to scan through this and pick about something that was so important that everybody was open. And now I see why all hell broke loose on Sharon Bracey's channel, because there's really nothing here to talk about. And it's always the same thing. It falls back to just what you said, it's the woman's fault. It's always on the woman.
Why can't we solve for that? He's speaking about something of a man that's already in a position, or a man that's already in a sense solved for the problems that he had in his childhood. That's not entirely hold on. That's not entirely what we're talking about. I'm talking about getting people to the starting point.
Right.
That's almost like being in debt and telling somebody how to become a millionaire.
And we just did that.
We men
because you never get to a relationship. That's the beginning of everything.
The majority of your audience is women. Why are you speaking to men?
70% of
men. Lies. That is a lie, bro. And the majority of the women that was in the chat before we even started this live stream was women that was saying whatever your slogan was, brother, those were women.
Because if you have women, listen to me, and I need this to be understood. If we're speaking on women and only men agree with me, I'm the wrong leader.
Now that part I agree with. Can you say that you are teaching men to be better to women when you have no proof that they are? The only way that you can get proof that men are being better to women, or what you're saying is being brought out into community as better for women, is for women to speak about what I teach. For most of the women on these YouTube streets, y'all niggas ain't it. I could do a loose nigga roundup every day on black men and black women. I could do it every day. I guarantee you, if I really wanted to put my mind to it, folks, I could do 10-hour streams every day and not talk about the same subject no more than 5-10 minutes at a time. Every day. That's how fucked up the black YouTube streets is, because we got leaders like this. Well, I should say y'all have leaders. What's up there, Devil Dog? Joe, how you doing, my man? Good to see you as always. Again, folks, let me put this down here. I'm not gonna drag y'all through this very much longer. Again, I was hoping that there was some kind of teaching tool that I could get through this and show, but it's going to go back to the same thing. Anton is a grifter. This Yada guy is a grifter. They're going to tell you and sell you anything to get you to come back to their chat rooms, to super chat them, to buy their Patreons, to go to their paywalls and get the very same information that you just got for them for free. Absolutely for free. Again, I don't blame the time. I blame the griftee. Zahara, your thoughts? Come on in. If you're not unmute.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
There you are.
Okay.
There you are.
How you doing?
Welcome in. Good.
So yeah, my thoughts is that at the end of the day, it's always going to be the woman's fault, no matter what. And like I said in the comment section, ever since I was 12, my mother and father used to beat in my head, maintain your own dignity, because it will be your fault. You will end up a single mother. It's going to be your fault and your fault alone. And then ripe old age of 48 now, I'm old now. I'm still childless. But that's okay. I'll be a childless cat lady. That's all right.
Well, listen. I didn't agree with that statement that J.D. Vance said, for whatever reasons, it's always up to a woman to whether she wants to have children or not, just like it's up to some men to whether they want to bear children. But it seems to me, and if you ladies can correct me if I'm wrong about this, it seems to me that these guys, these two gentlemen here, are saying that they don't need women, but without women, they would not be in these seats that they're in.
They wouldn't. That's old Rick Ross milk dud ass.
Oh.
Head ass.
Oh. That's funny.
That's a new name for him.
Looking like a dollar store Rick Ross. I mean, he was a millionaire morning show. But here's the thing, though. Let me say something right here.
Sure, go right ahead.
How you got a $9,000 apartment, but you don't own nothing? That don't make sense to me.
Well, you gotta look at the context.
Right, it's the nuance.
I guess.
Listen, now, going back to what you said, you know how when you used to go through the projects, and you see when you go up in the projects, you see Mercedes-Benz and they living in the projects. Isn't that the same
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. Okay.
The same thing. You're telling both these men are telling these folks that they should own their own business, but Anton, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm hearing you say that you and your wife live in an apartment or a house. I don't know. Are you renting it or do you own it? I don't know. I could be wrong, so I'm gonna use allegedly.
It's rent from some research that was done.
So you don't own it?
No.
Nope.
Millionaire Monday, man. I guess I got to go to his Patreon because I think maybe what was it, about a year or so ago, show I did a little piece on Anton and I completely forgot all about it. But isn't this the same guy that when someone asked him about his business credentials, they said go to what's the name of that place? LinkedIn. And when you go
ahead.
When you go to LinkedIn, it gives you a link to his website that you got to pay to get the information from.
Oh, well, yeah, I know it. He wants you to go to his Patreon. Anything you want to know, he talks about it there, according to what he said.
Well, that's not a very good businessman because I mean, if you advertising on a business site and I got 3, 4, 5 choices. One of them says, come to my website to get the information. The other one says, here's the information right here. Which one do you think I'm looking at?
You don't want that secret site? Oh.
No, hell no. So I don't want the secret sauce or the secret site. But before we get up out of here, ladies, last thing, I didn't bring any clips on it, but I was going to cover this anyway. You know, the election is, what 13, 14 days away?
Yes.
And again, there's so much misinformation and disinformation out there about the Vice President Harris and, different things that's going on with Trump. But I want everybody to be aware of something, what these generals says. Me being a former man in the military, I hold these generals, and I'm sure Joe can come at me with this. One thing, to become a 4-star, 5-star, 3-star general in the Marine Corps, integrity is something that you have to have. It really is. So for a 4-star general to say that Trump is disparaging the military, that Trump is comparing himself to Hitler, that Trump wanted Hitler-like generals, should be, for anyone that's thinking for voting for Trump, whether you're black or white, that should be enough pause for you right there.
Even before that.
Right.
Before that.
If before that didn't convince you, the mere fact of we all know who Hitler's police was. It was the SS, the secret police.
Mm-hmm.
So, saying that, folks, if that's not enough, whether you're black, white, or anything, for you to think that Trump is concerned about your freedoms here, for you folks, I heard, again, I'm going to refer to Sharon Brace's channel. They was talking about Project 2025 today. And the shit that I heard from these young black men on this panel that was praising Trump, be careful what y'all ask for, because you just might get it.
And can I just say one last thing? That they be talking about with Kamala, how she laughing. You worrying about how a woman laughs. We could get the second coming of Benito Mussolini, and you worrying about how somebody laughs.
What she's laughing at, right? And even when another danger to Fox News is, instead of them saying that Trump was 100% wrong about what he said, they have found every reason to try and distance him from those comments. He said
I can't.
Even so much so that they're trying to discredit a man that served his country honorably for years. But that, folks, again, there's no sense in us going any further with this, because this was a straight clusterfuck. Sure, I thought we might have to do a part 2 on this, but I'm not even going to waste anybody else's time on
this.
You folks, go ahead. No, it really isn't. It really isn't, because there's nothing of value here. You just got two guys that think they know everything. It's just two bags of hot air. Again, I see why this turned into a clusterfuck on everybody else's panel, because there's no value here. There's nothing that you could say about this that warranted all this hype. Nothing.
Nothing at
Filibuster.
all.
Filibuster. Yeah, this is foolishness. Foolishness. Absolute foolishness.
Indeed, foolishness.
Yes. Any closing thoughts there, ladies, before we get out of here?
Remember context. That's it.
And nuance. If you ain't learned no other words, right? If you ain't learned no other words, add any other words to your vocabulary tonight. Context and nuance. I guess we about wrapped up these loose niggas. Somebody put these niggas in the bond where they supposed to be at. Please.
Yep, lasso them up and tie them up.
Tie them up, hog tie them, and let's go ahead and barbecue their ass, because I think we didn't had enough of them. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm gonna do another stream on Anton, but I'm gonna make it a little bit more interesting. I'm gonna go and collect some of his greatest hits.
Make sure it's context now.
There's gonna be context to it.
The nuances.
Okay, the nuances is that we're gonna see in context how much of a loose nigga he really is.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it all in context. All right.
All right.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, before I get out of here, coming up here, just I guess in about a little half hour or so, I noticed I got my man down in the listening lounge here. He puts on a hell of a show on Thursday nights. The house mix, a soulful house mix with HT Baldwin, aka DJ Ed, on Classic R&B Jams Radio, folks. Y'all check it out. 24-hour radio station. You know, again, there's some things I'm gonna try and start bringing from YouTube onto the radio to expose a little bit more of what I do on both sides of it. So I might be calling on some of y'all to join me on some of our radio programs. So Z and Zahara and Shar and anyone else that might be interested in it, joining me on our radio programs. You know, Shar, we did our thing with On the Beat and Keep the Beat for a while. So I think it's about time to start bringing that back around, but in a little different form.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, y'all be cool, be safe, watch your 3, 6, and your 9. I'm not telling you who to support. I'm just pointing out the fuckery of those folks that we do support. All right? Be good, folks. We out here.